Yo, what's going on? It's your boy Lionel, class of 2009, back with another episode of PV versus everybody. And listen, I'm excited this evening, because we always say, we talked about one side of the trenches, right? We talked about one side of the trenches, and we all understand that if you're gonna win games, you gotta win it at the line of scrimmage, right? And we're talking about this chaos offense that's coming. Listen, ain't gonna be no chaos unless the chaos starts up front. So we got a special guest this evening coming on and jumping on the show, man. Super excited to talk with this young man. But before we get into that, y'all already know what it is, man. Listen, we gotta get some preliminaries done. First and foremost, listen. Play swing before kickoff. Listen, that's all that needs to be said. I don't know who out there got that power, but listen, I need y'all to get in the ear of whoever got the power with the marching storm. Let them know play swing before kickoff. Okay, listen, we got the hashtag going. Make sure you hashtag play swing before kickoff. Secondly, listen, yes, my man Isaiah's putting in the chat. First and foremost, if you're not following us over on Instagram and following us on Twitter, listen, you're missing out. So make sure you're following us on both platforms. Obviously, right now, listen, we live on Instagram too as well. So for y'all who are on Instagram checking us out, listen, you want to join the conversation, you can do that better over here on YouTube. But listen, we're everywhere, man. Instagram, Twitter. So make sure you're following us on both places and both locations. Also, like and subscribe to the channel, man. Like and subscribe to the channel. We're working and trying to bring some stuff to your front door. And so we love to just see that you appreciate the content. That like just lets us know that you appreciate the content, right? Appreciate the conversation and the interviews. And so if you go ahead and like, subscribe to the channel, and also share this with other PV Nation fans so they also can join us over here as well, man. Listen, it's that time, all right? It's that time. So appreciate you, right, for subscribing to the channel. Because listen, the goal, as my man Isaiah has put in the chat, listen, the goal is 500 subs by the fall. And listen, we're almost there. We're almost at our destination. I believe we're like 32 subscribers off, and you could be one to help us to reach our goal. All right, this is a partnership here, and so we want to partner with you, right? Provide you the content that you love and that you need, but also, man, just show some love by going subbing. And listen, we got some special. When I say we got some special brewing, we got some special brewing. Once we get to that 500 sub line, man, I got something for you guys that I know you're going to be super excited about. Now, before we get into the interview, listen, first and foremost, I got to remind y'all, Section 107 almost sold out. All right. There's only 8 seats left available in Section 107. So if you're trying to get litty on the fitty, as they say, right? You're trying to get litty on the fitty. Hey, man, listen, you got to go and get your stuff together because they're almost gone. All right. They're almost gone if you're trying to get on the 50-yard line. Right. So make sure you go ahead and get your season tickets. Hey, listen, make sure you go and get your season tickets. All right. Proud Panther family, you know what I'm saying, in the building. Miss Monica in the building. All right. And listen, if you have not filled out the survey, this is your last day. This is your last opportunity to fill out the strategic survey that the university has out. The athletic department is trying to pull together, hear from the student athletes, from former student athletes, from the faculty and staff, from current students, from alum. They're trying to hear from everybody, right? Get a broad spectrum of everybody's thought process of how we can make everything in the department better for everyone. You saw the packages that were just rolled out. That's awesome, right? Got the corporate sponsorships going. If you haven't checked out that episode, make sure you check out that episode on, corporate sponsorships. Listen, is Panther Stadium for sale? Listen, everything for sale. All right. Listen, you can put your business behind the field goal. All right. Every time we score, it's going to show up your business. All right. Because you have an opportunity, to promote that way and get yourself in front of all those that's coming through Panther Stadium. And listen, we're going to be on ESPN Plus all year. So that's also a benefit as well. So make sure you fill out that strategic survey as well. And listen, for y'all that don't know, we already dropped our PV quarterback room positional breakdown. We're going to be breaking down every room, right? We're going to be talking about every room leading up to the season, right? So we talked about the quarterback room so far. Hey, listen, what room you guys want us to do next? But we're going to be breaking down all of them. But hey, let me know what room you guys are interested in so we can have a conversation so you guys can know what we have in that room and why I've been saying this the year, right? So y'all know I'm not just saying it just to say it. I'm saying it because listen, I know what's there. All right. When you know what you got, you can talk a little different. Okay. So that's the thing we've been working on as well, right? So we're gonna be getting that to you. Try to get that to you once every week. And listen, on Wednesday, we got a special show. All right, we got a special show for all y'all out there, right? All across the board, right? PV Nation and everybody, all the everybody's as well, right? We got our HBCU preseason top 10, and we got something special we're gonna call title pie. I like Lionel's title pie. I know we got first thing first. Listen, we're gonna talk about title pie. What percentage does every school have in regards to what's their chance of winning the Celebration Bowl this year? So we're gonna talk about that on Wednesday as well. So make sure you jump back over, right, and join the conversation there. But with all that said and done, man, listen. We got a special guest this evening. Listen, we got some folks in the chat already shouting you out. You know what I'm saying? Shouting the man out. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? Got Proud Panther family, Miss Body in the building, right? You know what I'm saying? Underlay Pedro. You feel me? So without further ado, I want to bring this young man up. What's going on? That bad man, Pedro the Silva. How are you, sir?
I'm fantastic. It's a pleasure to be on today.
Oh man, we're excited to have you on, man. You know what I'm saying? So it's literally it said, oh, my boyfriend. Okay. I don't know what that's about.
That's my aunt.
Okay, I don't know what that's about, but you know what I'm saying?
Aunt.
Hey, listen, he said that's my aunt. He had to make it clear because he's like,
That's
listen, I'm not trying to get in trouble out here.
Nah.
I'm not trying to get in trouble. How you doing, Pedro, man? How's everything going with you? I know right now we got the storm going on and everything, but how's just everything been going? Just past the first year and also throughout the summer and spring season. How's everything been checking for you?
Everything's been good, man. I've managed to stay healthy, stay blessed. I'm just getting on with it, just living life, having fun.
Nah, man, and that's really what it's all about, man. It's just enjoying it, just like you say, having fun. And because listen, every day, man, you gotta. One thing we can't do is look back and have those regrets. That's what we don't want to do, right? You know what I'm saying? And so, one thing I always say, man, you want to enjoy where you at the time that you're there, so that way you don't have to look back and say, man, I wish this or I wish that, right? So, man, first and foremost, listen, if it's something that stands out. It's that Brazilian flag in the background, right? You know what I'm saying? And I know we talked a little bit about it before we jumped on, but are you a soccer guy? Because listen, when I see a Brazil flag, the first thing I think about is listen to them 5 World Cups. So are you a soccer guy yourself?
Of course I am. You can't be Brazilian and not have it in the blood.
You say can't be Brazilian and not have the soccer in your blood, man. All right, let me ask you. Favorite Brazilian soccer player of all time?
All time?
All time.
Well, I think you can only go one way with that, right? And it's the man that put the team on his back,
Mm-hmm.
The biggest number 10 in my opinion, it's Pelé. 58 won the World Cup for Brazil. You can't be a bigger idol to me and personally in the game than him.
Hey, listen, that's hard to beat, right? You know what I'm saying? When you talk about somebody who's done it, right? You know what I'm saying? That's a name that's known, obviously all around the world. I love my guy Ronaldinho. I gotta give me a Ronaldinho. You know what I'm saying in there. But listen, obviously Brazil always has some talent. They always got a shot. We were talking a little bit about how, man, I'm a World Cup fan. Like, I love the World Cup. I love seeing, countries putting their best foot forward. Because one thing I didn't know about soccer, right, before I really got connected and started enjoying the World Cup was that, you talking about around the world, like you talking about some of the best athletes from these countries, they play soccer, right? So when we think about like football or basketball, people don't understand sometimes, like, listen, around the world, the best athletes are playing soccer, right? And so you look at the World Cup, man, that competition is heavy, man. You know what I'm saying? Have you had a chance to attend any qualifiers before or any World Cup games, anything like that?
Nah, because most of the time we're here, and a lot of Brazilian qualifiers for the World Cup are in South America, so it's kind of hard to go down there just for a game and come back up, you know?
Nah, that's true. That makes sense. Yeah, you have a better chance of catching the Mexico
Yeah,
qualifier,
Mexico,
especially in
U.S., a
Houston.
CONCACAF game,
Oh
yeah.
yeah, especially in Houston. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
A Jamaica or so I know Jamaica have had some games. I know Mexico, obviously the US, right? You know what I'm saying? So some of those people, and we got a lot of those communities are big here too, right? Mexican, obviously, Jamaican community, etc. Right. But I just love the World Cup, man. Obviously, just love the cultures and seeing the different cultures all around the world. Got a big one coming up because we're talking about three countries hosting it, you know what I'm saying? Coming up soon. So
Yep.
that's gonna be a wild World Cup, man.
Oh,
You know
yeah.
what I'm saying? Like if it's one thing I wish, because my wife is a real huge soccer fan, right? Like she's an Arsenal fan, right? And for me, like I was telling you, I don't understand all the leagues. There's just so many soccer leagues, right? You know what I'm saying? But my wife is a huge Arsenal fan, so I'm like, man, if I have an opportunity to get to a World Cup game,
Gotta
like
go.
I really would love to do that when it comes, because I'm sure Houston. I think when I looked up, Houston is one of the host sites, but even if it's not Houston, Dallas might be on that list. So I'm like, I would love to get to, saying game just for us to have the experience as a family, because I know she's a soccer fan, man. So we'll see, but hopefully you get a chance to catch Brazil.
Man, my whole family already been planning it. We're trying to make it to one game this in 2026.
That'll be dope, man. That'll be dope. Yeah, man. So I mean, can you give us maybe one thing? I know there's maybe some people out there who, saying don't understand anything about Brazilian culture, right? You know what I'm saying? Can you tell us maybe one thing about Brazilian culture that maybe would shock people, right? That would be interesting. I know one thing that always I hear people say all the time is that they think you guys speak Spanish, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, can you kind of school the people? You know what I mean? A little bit.
So most important fact is Brazilians don't like it. Brazilians don't like it when you tell them you speak in Spanish, because I haven't met a more prideful people with more heart and more intensity and more passion for what they do than a Brazilian. So when you go at a Brazilian and you're like, you speak in Spanish, or like, are you from this country or this country?
Right,
They're like,
right.
nah. Get it right now.
Nah,
I'm a Brazilian.
I'm Brazilian.
I'm Brazilian.
That's what's up, man. Yeah, I love that just about different communities. You know what I'm saying? How they rock. You know what I'm saying? Their culture. Listen. One thing that stands out, that Brazilian. It's only a few cultures around the world where you see their flag and you know exactly what country it is. Right? You see what I'm saying? So that Brazilian flag is a very, very known thing. You see that flag, people knows what it is, right? So that's super awesome, man. So now let's get into it though, because you're a guy, right? Brazilian, grown up. You talked a little bit earlier about how in the household, listen, it's only Portuguese spoken. All right,
Portuguese, man.
You ain't talking no English, no nothing, right? Now, how did this young man, right, growing up in a Brazilian household, loving soccer, right? You know what I'm saying? Loving Pele, even though really maybe Ronaldinho should be there, but that's a whole different conversation. You know what I'm saying? But how did this young man come to fall in love with playing football, though? How did that happen?
That's a conversation that is going to take a long time, but I'm going to give you the compact version.
Oh, right? Give me the compact version. The longer version might have to be a movie.
Definitely, because it's about a span of 10 years probably.
Okay.
So what happened was in junior high, I never played Pee Wee football.
Okay.
My mom always taught me, told me, she was like, I don't like you getting hit. I don't like my little boy getting hit. I don't want you to get hit. I don't want you to get hurt. So in junior high, I was a late bloomer. I was a really small kid, but I was on the heavier side of the scale. So a coach comes up to me. He's like, "You want to try football?" And I was like, "What can go wrong? If I don't like it, I'll just quit, and I'll go do something else with my life." So it was really interesting, because then I go to the football field, and my first year, I'm horrible. Like, I might be the worst football player you've ever met in your life. I played center, and I was very proud. I'm not proud. Now I'm not proud of it at all. I was the reason why my team scored like 2 points that year, 2 touchdowns that year, because I was snapping the ball about 46 yards behind the quarterback, and that face, my whole season right there.
Now this is This is junior high?
Junior high. This is junior
Okay,
high. I'm snapping the ball, and the quarterback is trying to jump, and he's having to run backwards, and it's like, and then let's skip that part because that's a bad part of my history.
Nah, we want to hear that part. We want that part too.
So then my sister comes at me that the summer after that, the summer going into my 8th grade year, and my sister's like, bro, we need to get you straight. You can't be doing this like that. She gets me in the weight room, and she pushes me more than I've ever been pushed before.
Okay,
and like, you're my sister. Like you're supposed to like be like, oh, chill out, calm down. She's like, nah. You gonna be the best.
Oh wow.
Because we family, and you don't let family go below the standard.
Woo!
So she trained me up. I became I became a guy in my junior high. Right. I come into high school. I work out with the older guys because my sister told me, if you're gonna be something, you gotta be the greatest. So I didn't train with the freshmen. I trained with the seniors, the upperclassmen. I had coaches lift with me because sometimes I just felt like people weren't lifting enough, and I wanted something to push me to that next level. And I didn't fall in love with the sport. I fell in love with the work that came with the sport. My high school coach, Coach Mike, he's an OC at Langham right now. He was always like being very critical of all the little steps. And every time I conquered a little step, that made me want the next step more. And I just fell in love with the thrill of the hunt, and then the conquer. That's what got me.
Wow, that's big. You don't understand how that some people take a lifetime to understand that what you talk about right there, right? You know, and you know, many conversations I have with people offline, right? We're just talking in general. It's like we have to get to the point to where the focus is not on the goal, right? The goal becomes the work itself, right? The work is the actual goal, because if you accomplish the work, the goal is just going to come in time, right? It's just time at that point before you hit it. And so you're a young man who realized that at an early age. But first of all, man, shouts out to your sister.
Oh
right?
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Shouts out to your sister. Shouts out to having a sibling, right, who is looking out for your best benefit and pushing you because they know when they see that you could be more, you could do more, right? You know what I'm saying? Because it's, you know, we always talk about on the show, right, how it's not just about football, right? It's not just about whatever the sport is that the athlete's playing, because listen, nobody can play a sport for the rest of their life. You're going to have to go into some arena in the world, and you're going to take whatever work ethic you had into that arena. And so the fact that you have acquired that at an early age, man, that is awesome. And it shows that, man, this is somebody who people need to get connected with, because that's the actual work ethic you want. And I was looking at your bio, right? And one thing it talked about was you said, man, one of the big things for you is commitment, right? People don't know how to follow through on things they set their mind to, right? You know what I mean? And so it's interesting hearing how that early on kind of attached to you, you know what I mean, in your experience, man. For you know, outside of, you know, when you talked about your coach, right, who went to Langham Creek as well, right? Were there anybody else outside of your sister and your coach specifically that you can think back and say, man, this person or these individuals helped me in that journey to continue to kind of refine, right, my mindset on staying focused on, you know, the work itself?
I could sit here all day and name people, right? But other than Coach Mike and my sister, my parents did a great deal, right? Because I saw how much they sacrificed to keep me in this position, that every time I think about quitting, I remember how much they had to sacrifice for me to keep going. And then with them, you know, I had other coaches in my life, and another coach that kind of put me on the path was my throwing coach. My throwing coach was also very instrumental because he taught me that sometimes when you look at the outcome of stuff, it can look very bad. You know, like when you're always at the outcome, he cemented the fact that, because in throwing, distance comes naturally, right? Technique is what gets you to where you want to go.
Right.
So whenever my mind started to drift onto other stuff, he taught me ways to get back on track and just keep going forward.
That's good. That's good, man. And I think, like you're mentioning right now, right? A lot of time, there's a collection of people just in all of our lives, right, who obviously have an impact on us. Sometimes we can pinpoint specific individuals at a specific time that did something special that kind of stood out. But the reality is, right, there are a lot of people, right? Those, you think about the upperclassmen that, invited you in and said, hey, look, you want freshman want to come in and work out? Let's work, let's get it, right? So there's a lot of people in our life and experience, but and I think that's important for those out there, right, who are listening. Just remember, right, like there's people that are placed around you right now. They're not just being critical for any reason, right? A lot of people who are, critiquing us is because they know that we can do better and they want better for us. And I think that's important. That's something that you're showing, even as you're sharing right now. Now I know, obviously you played at Katy, in the Katy area, man. You know what I'm saying? One of the toughest areas to play, and when people talk about Texas football, this is one of the districts that people think about, right? In 6A ball. How was it playing in that district, going up against a Katy, right? Going up against a Pedro, right? Going up against a Morton Ranch or Jordan, et cetera, right? Talk about playing 6A ball in Texas in general, man, and what was it like under those Friday night lights?
Well, I'm going to say this. 19-6A football is a blessing and a curse. Because the blessing part of it is that I went against people that now go to Power 5 schools. A&M, Oregon, SMU, La Tech, Memphis. I played against a lot of good guys, a lot of dudes. That was the blessing part, because I learned where I could settle myself in, and I learned what my skill set could truly be. The curse part of it is that if you don't know how to work, 19-6A will eat you up, and it will chew you, and it will spit you right out. Because going against Katy every year, you bring your A game, or you're going to get 70 dropped on you.
Woo.
You go against Pedro, and they're going to smash your mouth in a little bit if you don't, tighten the shoelaces, get a little extra tape on, strap it up all the way. If you don't bring it every time, someone else will.
No, that's facts. Like you got it, like you said, right? I mean, at the end of the day, that's a tough arena to play in. Like you say, you're not playing like, listen, they'll drop 70 on you. No games, right?
No.
You know what I mean? And it's also sometimes people don't think about the fact that a lot of guys that have gone, even FCS, for example, right, have crossed paths with a lot of different, people along the way, right? You know what I'm saying? Power 5 guys, G5 guys, right? And so, like you say, right, there's that experience is important, right, to have. You know what I mean? No matter where you're stepping on, where you're going to play ball, right? So obviously I know you came out of Tompkins, man. What was it like? When you talk about that game, you know what I'm saying, that you guys had where, against Jordan, on your senior year, broke the school rushing record, right? And you guys averaged 25 yards. Like, first of all, that sounds crazy. All right. That sounds crazy, right? What was it that game, man? What was it that had y'all rolling like that, though? Because, I mean, to average 25 a carry is just crazy on any team, period.
Oh, yeah. There's no prouder feeling for me, because we had so much chemistry up front that we might have been 5 different guys, but it was one team. It was blind faith. I knew that everyone was around me. I knew I could trust in them. I knew I had faith in them. The back trusted us. We trusted the back. Trust and chemistry were the biggest part of that, And a lot of times people are like, trust and faith in each other is the right way, but trust and faith in your coach. Because at the end of the day, we knew that he was going to put us in a position to do what we were taught to do. So when we put the faith in him and the trust in each other, 25 a carry is easy.
Man, listen, he says easy. Listen, that's tough. Okay. All right. Listen, that's tough. I mean, I know you making it sound like it's nothing, but listen, 25 a carry, a touch. Listen, I know them backs was like, man, we got to take y'all out. get something to eat real quick because y'all just made this. Y'all just opened up the lanes. It was like a highway on the field. You know what I'm saying? So that's big, man. But obviously, come to an end of your high school career, graduating, right? Talk about the recruitment process, right? You talked a little bit about how you played against guys who went all type of places. For you, what was your recruitment process like? And then how did you land on saying, man, listen, PV is the place to be, right? You know what I'm saying? And it's never gonna stop, right? You know what I'm saying? How did it come to where Prairie View was the place that you knew that you wanted to go to continue your playing and your academic career?
So, the decision was quite easy. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. PV Nation over everything. But the point of how I got there is is a very like continuous tough journey. I had a lot of coaches look at my film and go, "You're a dog." Simply put, you're the most physical guy out there, high motor, work ethic. We love everything about you, but at the end of the day, some of the measurables aren't adding up. So it was always like, we love you. You're a great guy. We're just looking for something else. So then in walks, man, horrible time to forget his name. Coach, running backs coach. What's his name?
Fred.
No, not Fred. Not Fred. Running backs coach. I forgot his name, man. I'm going to remember in a minute. Of course. So ignore that. So running back coach Bradley. There it is.
Oh, you're talking about Coach Bradley.
Coach Bradley walks in and he's like, he looks at me and he gives a little smile, and I'm like, okay. He goes outside, he takes a picture of my measurables. Like a few days later, he's like, hey, I want you to come out to our camp. I go out there, I do my thing, I win. He's like, okay, it's a long weekend. We're gonna get back to you on Monday or Tuesday, with our final say. I get home, 40-minute drive. I get home. I start taking my clothes off, getting ready, and he calls. He's like, hey, we're going to offer you. We want you to come to PV. And I'm like, okay, yeah. Oh, yeah. So then summer comes around. I pick up one more offer from Houston Christian, right? And then going into my senior season, I was like, I don't know. There's two things I really like about each school. And then I go to a PV game, right? Prairie View homecoming. They knew what they were doing, They knew. I ain't mad though. PV versus Bethune-Cookman. I think.
Oh yeah, and that was a comeback game.
Yep, we're going into half. We're down like, I think it was like 20-some points, 10, 20 points. They go up. They open the score. I think it's 42-24, something like that. And then I see something that in my head, I'm like, this is where I'm coming. I see fight. I see determination. I see grit. I see passion. I see everything that I can get behind. I see something that I see in myself. I saw that the job ain't done till it's done. I saw that want to win.
Yeah.
When I saw that want to win and I saw that band play, I was like, man, there is no transfer portal. There is no nothing. It's going to be PV when I walk in. It's going to be PV when I walk out. That's how it's going to go now.
I love it, man. I love the story in the back history, man. That is just awesome. And we tell people all the time, we had these conversations offline, how it's so interesting. You talk about, man, I had an offer from PV. I got an offer from Houston Christian. All right. And because we talked about, hey, listen, these are the individuals who you recruiting against, right? You know what I'm saying? And so these games, right, like the one we played last year, like this is a big deal because there's kids who saying, listen, I'm looking at both of these schools at the end of the day, right? You know what I mean? So, but it's also awesome to hear you talk about how, the experience you had at the game, right? Really helped you, not just the game itself and the atmosphere, obviously that was a part of it, but also what you saw in the team and the coaching staff, how big that was. And I feel like I keep hearing the same thing from different players, the transfers that's coming in, guys who's here already, just about the coaching staff, man, and about, just who they are, how real they are with players, and how important that is, especially now, and especially in the days of the transfer portal where just people really, a lot of people just lying to people left and right, right? You know what I'm saying? So, what is it about, the staff, man, that I guess you really appreciate, if you had to, pinpoint one thing that you appreciate about Coach Bubba, Coach Green, and some of the other guys on the staff?
Coach Bubba has been there, so he knows what he's talking about. It's real easy to put your faith in a man when he's done what you want to do. So that's the first part, right?
That's
Simply put, it's easy to trust him.
Yeah.
And then Coach Green is different because Coach Green is upfront with me. He's like, this is how I'm gonna run my O-line. You either get on the bus, we can drop you off somewhere.
Yeah.
I like that about him. It's because it makes life real simple.
Yeah.
And it's easy to trust him because I know he's always gonna be straight to the point. Recruiting, he never told me, hey, you're gonna walk in, you're gonna start. No. He's like, I got some dudes, right? You're probably gonna have to sit the bench your first year, just sit there and learn. And I was like, HBU coach didn't tell me that. He was like, oh, you're great, you're probably gonna start for me. I'm like, I don't know. Coach Green always been straight up. He's like,
yeah,
you're gonna ride the bench. You're gonna learn from Kobe and from Chance and from AT and from ED. You're gonna learn from them. And then when it's your time, I'll give you the opportunity.
Right.
To get your spot. And I was like, oh yeah.
Oh, that's real.
I can get behind that.
I like the realness, right? You know what I'm saying? And people mention over and over how you got to be real. You got to be straight up with guys and let them know what it is. And I love that, right? You know what I'm saying? And I see that across the board when we talk to Coach Jonas, you know what I'm saying, the D-line coach as well. It's like, hey, man, how do you have no guys who jump in the portal like that? It's like, because we just real with it. We let them know, listen, this is where you at. This is where you at, right? You know what I'm saying? We just be straight with everybody, right? But we also let them know, like, hey, there's always an opportunity, right? If you use the snaps you get, there's an opportunity, right? And so, that's big, man. I really appreciate you just, open the door into that. And I know it probably don't hurt as well that you're a nursing major, right? It probably don't hurt a little bit that PV has a pretty good nursing school, man. Talk a little bit about that, man. What was your motivation in going into nursing? What is your goal as far as that is concerned? We talk about life after football.
So my sister's in the other room, but I was really following her. I always wanted to help people. I believe God gave me too much to not give back.
Yeah, amen.
So I thought, how can I help people? And I was like, well, I can save people from hurt. I can help people heal. So life after football for me is probably a life of service.
Oh yeah.
Helping my community, helping my people. Nursing would be cool. Being a doctor would be cool. But recently God's been putting in my life to kind of go to coach. So I don't know. I'm gonna just let the big man upstairs figure out the way. Whatever he says, I'll do, and I'll do it with everything in my heart.
Listen, you can't go wrong when you listen to where God is leading you in the direction He's leading you in. So obviously, listen, we big supporters of that here at PV versus everybody. You know what I'm saying? So regardless, right? It's about the service, right? You know what I'm saying? We talk about going and having an impact. That's the word we always use, right? You got to go impact somebody somewhere, no matter what business, no matter what degree, no matter what career field. It's about impacting other people, no matter where you place, right? And so that life of service, that wherever it is, right? You know what I'm saying? The coaching ranks, etc. I know you're going to impact people, right, man? Because I hear the work ethic that you got, man. And you're a young man who are young, but you have wisdom, you know what I'm saying, beyond your years, right? You know what I'm saying? So I definitely appreciate that about you. Elvin is even like, listen, that's a great answer. You know what I'm saying? Elvin learning right now. You know what I'm saying? He in the chat, he learning. Now I see, is this your dad, Mr. Ricardo?
Oh, yeah. I'm gonna tell you this right now. PV Nation, right? When I do something big, that man right there has been I'm gonna say the Marching Storm's biggest fan. He's been Prairie View's biggest fan. When we went to PV on my visit, he's like, son, you gonna come here. He's like, I want you here.
You're right.
He's been PV from the get-go.
Hey, listen, Mr. Ricardo, listen, we appreciate you. Shouts out. All right. UPV, listen, UPV, you got the stamp of approval, baby. You know what I'm saying? He said we used to watch the videos of Prairie Parade before the games on YouTube.
We did. I'm
That's
telling you, my dad, from the moment I'm like, oh, they invited me to the camp.
Right.
He goes to TV, pulls up YouTube, and starts going Prairie View games, Prairie View band.
That's what's up. That's crazy. That's crazy. That's why. And listen, this is why, right? On another note, right? This is why I'm really big on content, right? You know what I'm saying? This is why I'm really big on what we're doing here, right? Interviewing players, right? You know what I'm saying? Because hey, at some point somebody's gonna go Pedro de Silva. You see what I'm saying? It's right. Hey, this interview will come and say, man, that guy got this work ethic, right? You know what I'm saying? We want that out on our players, right? You know what I'm saying? So content is so huge. It's awesome that you're saying that because it reminds us again of why we got to be putting this out, right? Telling our story, creating our own narratives, right? You know what I mean? Because that's dope, though. He's like, listen, I'm on YouTube just looking up games, looking up parade film. That's what's up, man. That's dope, man. And that's awesome to hear you guys talk about that and talk about your experience at games because, you know, and I know that we are still building that game day culture that we want, right? We're not where we want to be. You know what I'm saying, right? So for sure, obviously, everybody know we've been talking about that on this channel, right? You know what I'm saying? But while we building to where we want to be, I think people still sometimes take for granted that, like, man, listen, but there's times where it's like, listen, that environment during this game or that experience during this game was great, right? You know what I'm saying? We talk about, listen, with what you have, because at the end of the day, listen, if you got 10,000 and everybody sitting down doing nothing, I'd rather go with 4,000 people loud and on their feet and cheering, going crazy. You see what I'm saying? So, you know, we have those experiences, and it was awesome to hear you as a player talk about that as well to motivate us as alum and fans, you know what I mean? But also show like, hey, don't allow the narratives that y'all hear out there to be what y'all take and run with. You know what I'm saying? This is a guy who came to the game and said, this is what my experience was, right? And that helped me to choose PV, right? So don't allow people to let you run with narratives that ain't really the real narrative, right? But with that said, man, I wanted to go into a couple quick fire questions for you, man. We do this every time, right? We kind of talked a little bit about your soccer experience, right? About Pele, but I want to ask you, man, do you have a favorite NFL team?
I do.
Listen, choose wisely now. Choose wisely.
There's only one right answer.
Oh my goodness.
And it's H-Town till we drown, baby.
Oh my goodness.
It's H-Town
wisely. Everybody can't have everything. I mean, Jesus can't get everybody everything, obviously. You know what I'm saying? So he got a lot, right? You know what I'm saying? He had to have some wrong answer. You know what I'm saying? We all fall short. You feel me? So H-Town. Listen, are you rocking with the new uniforms?
I'm a retro man.
So you prefer them to go back to like the powder blues?
I think the biggest travesty, whatever you want to call it, in the NFL is the fact that the Tennessee Titans get to wear baby powder blue.
I knew he was gonna say
my Houston Texans do not get to. Man,
that's hey, listen, I understand because listen, I ain't gonna lie. When the University of Houston broke out them powder blues for that, that was fire though. I ain't gonna lie, right? That was listen. That was fire. I ain't gonna lie. That was a fire drop and everything.
It was
went hard. Them powder blues went hard though. I'm with you on that, man. It's hard because obviously it's based on franchise, right? So it's the same franchise, right? That move. But I understand. I mean, listen, for Houston people, I totally get you. It makes perfect sense. You know what I mean? So one of my homeboys, biggest Houston fan, but he's like, man, I really don't like the new uniforms. I was like, okay, I'm cool with them. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not a Houston fan, so it don't matter to me, right? You know what I'm saying? I ain't giving none of y'all. I ain't giving y'all none of my money. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? But with that being said, I want to ask you. You know what I'm saying? What's up, Kaden in the chat? What's your favorite PV uniform combination?
I liked. I think it was Houston Christian. We wore black pants, white tops. I don't remember the helmet that went with it.
With the white, y'all had the white helmet on that game.
Yeah, the white helmet. That was pretty tough. Man, that was a good combo.
A lot of y'all like that, the black pants with the white top and white helmet.
The black pants, okay, they're aesthetically cool, but they also fit the best.
Bryce said the same thing when he came.
Like for some reason, they just fit way better than like any of the other pants. So it was like a comfort style plus kind of deal.
Comfort style combination there. Gotcha. That's interesting because, like I said, Bryce said the same thing. He said not only did they like it, but also he said the black uniforms fit the best. You know what I'm saying? I know he's been through a lot of uniform combinations. He's been here for a couple years, right? So he's been with some of the combinations during dually time, right? So yeah, he was like all black. You know what I'm saying? So your sister say all white with the gold helmet. Listen. That's the one that I had the number one on my list. The all white with the gold helmet. Listen, and you going to somebody else's place getting the business done. Oh yeah, that's. Them all whites is always gonna be on point with the gold. Now I'm gonna tell you the combination that. So I did a show a while back, right? Like I did actually like a uniform combination tournament during March, I think, right? You know what I'm saying? So we went through and we ranked the best uniform combination, right? I'm not gonna lie. One that I want to see though is the all black with the gold helmets.
Yes, please. Yes, please. Yes, please. That you can't go wrong.
Listen, the all black with the gold helmet would be crazy.
It would be clean.
That would be crazy. I don't know if it's just like we need to talk to the equipment manager. I need to do an interview with him because I'm like, maybe we just don't have the ability. Maybe we don't got the uniforms, the all black for that. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Maybe that's what it is. Because I'm like, when I saw y'all with the black pants, I'm like, that was interesting because we haven't worn those black pants in a couple of years.
In a while. Right? And they look new. They felt new. They felt good.
He took care of them. You know,
he did.
He took care of them. Hey, only thing we can do is keep putting the nugget out there. You know what I'm saying? Listen, all black with gold helmet. Now, the all black with gold helmet will be a home game, right? So if you had to choose a home game for the all black with the gold helmet, which game you choosing it for?
Swag Championship at Prairie View.
Oh, you better
at Black Shearfield, Panther Stadium.
We together. We on one accord. Listen, he didn't say Texas Southern. He didn't say Southern. He didn't say Texas A&M Commerce. He didn't say FAMU. He didn't say Alcorn. He said bump all that. Listen, the Swag Championship game. Listen, bro, we don't want to court. I ain't gonna lie. That's okay. I ain't got nothing else to say to you. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got nothing to say. Now, we talk about getting ready for games, man. Do you have a specific pregame routine? Anything that you do, you know what I'm saying? Did you say, hey, I gotta do this when you're talking about getting ready for the game?
I do. So unlike a lot of my people, a lot of my friends, a lot of my teammates, I don't do hype. I do quiet and worship. I know it's kind of a weird combo, but I do worship and I do silence. I don't like to talk. I don't like to move around. I put my worship on. I'm thankful for everything. I'm thankful for the opportunity, you know. But then, you know, the headphone comes off. We walk down the little ramp. That's it.
Getting it on then. So
yeah.
Give me one song that you got as part of that playlist, that worship playlist.
It's I think it's called Banks. Banks is a good song. I don't know the artist. And then I got some Brazilian worship in there. And then what's the song? Graves to Garden is also very good from I like Maverick City.
Need to Breathe Banks?
I think so.
I see it. Yeah.
Yeah. I like Maverick City. I like Elevation Worship.
Oh yeah.
Those are my big ones.
Oh yeah, see, we talking because you know me. Listen, that's my jam. I don't really listen. It's either band music or it's like, listen, I got my worship music. That's it. I don't be doing nothing else. I don't even know have these artists out now. I ain't gonna lie to you. You feel me? So we don't want to chord right now. You know what I mean? I be listening. I don't know half the songs be played. I'm out of there. So that's what's up, man. You know what I'm saying? Hey, Isaiah say the Silva family is lit. Elvin say he's so impressed. This is a great young man. Yes, man. You're definitely, you know what I'm saying, definitely represent your family well. And obviously we're happy you attached to PV Nation because you obviously represent PV Nation well as well, man. So, you know, I want to ask you too, you know, when we talk about games coming up this season, You spoke about, the game that you would like to see the All Black in. Talk to us a little bit about, just the offensive line room right now coming through the spring, right? We talk about, some of the guys you're able to learn behind, right? Kobe Lewis, right? Talk about Arrington Taylor, saying a lot of these guys, right? Talking about 5 guys who, was there to anchor PV for the last few years. And now we have a lot of returning guys, right? But a lot of guys who necessarily didn't take on that role fully throughout the year, right? You know what I'm saying? I know last year with the ACU game, SMU game, right? You got to play a lot of snaps in those games. How beneficial do you think that experiences of playing in those 2 games helped you when it came to now coming into the spring and getting ready for this competition for this new offensive line that's going to be starting this next year?
It helped a lot in the fact that when you hear people say stuff, you can register in your head and it'll be like, okay, yeah, that's how it is. But then when you see it with your eyes for real in competitive snaps,
yes,
it kind of like, light bulb just turns on, because one moment you're hearing coach talk about, oh, it goes by faster. You got to have your pre-snaps ready. You got to communicate. And then you get thrown into the fire.
Yeah.
And you realize, like, coach wasn't lying to me. Like, there were a few times where my mind wasn't in there. I wasn't looking at it. And stuff happened because I wasn't ready. So that helped me really convey to some of the other guys that haven't gotten, like, real competitive, real reps, to the fact that, like, we may be young, right? But we got this.
Yeah.
It helped me in the fact that, like, to talk to different people, right? And to help them out and to be like, we can do this, and just kind of be a leader for some of the younger guys.
No, that's big, man. That's big. And obviously, you talk about, this new offense that Coach Whedon is bringing in. I know, talking to him, right, he likes to keep it up tempo, right? You know what I mean? And talking about, and it's always interesting to me, right, that when you talk about D-line, I mean, you get a lot of guys who, get a chance to go in and out. Some D-lines are almost like, 3 lines deep, right? You know what I'm saying? Some D-lines. But when you talk about an O-line, I mean, listen, every snap, all game, right? Just talk a little bit about how the preparation, to be able to deal with a defensive line play in and play out, right? Because if you guys are good, you guys ready to go, you guys are healthy, I'm not subbing you guys out. Listen, the 5 I put in is the 5 I need there for all 60, 70 snaps, whatever it's going to be, right? So talk a little bit about that mindset of an offensive lineman that may be different than a defensive lineman.
I'm not really familiar with defensive line mentality. What I can say about O-line is very simple. You can break a man down 2 ways. You can break him down physically. You can break him down mentally. In my personal experience, the mental will break before the physical will break.
Okay.
So as an O-lineman, at least I can talk about myself. I can't talk about others. I never will, because everyone should be able to talk for themselves. But in my personal belief, that if you can demoralize your opponent, like you demoralize the starter, right? And then you go off to the bench and the starter starts complaining. When the starter complains, his backup will probably get a little more frustrated, a little more hesitant. And if you really start to break down that starter to the point where his mental affects his physical, you have neutralized a weapon that the defense can use against you. So then comes the next guy. The next guy comes in, and your objective is to break him down now.
Yeah. So
that the D lineman, the starter that's now on the sideline, who's just gotten a break, he's already broken down mentally, and then he sees you breaking down the other guy physically, right? Just mashing him, just giving him fight, giving him work. Even if you lose, you got to put him work. When the other guy comes in and that starter comes back in, and you look at him and you keep going at him, he's used to the mentality where he gets 3 plays in and he takes a break.
Yeah.
When he sees that I'm in here for a fight the whole game, and I'm not gonna, oh, I need to break this play. No, I'm just gonna keep mashing you in your mouth. Eventually, he'll go like, is he human? Is he for real? Because like I'm coming in and out, and I'm tired, and he's over here mashing me with the same intensity from snap 1 to snap 60.
That's facts.
Eventually, he's gonna go, you know what? You can have it today. I don't want it anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And then when he says I don't want it anymore, that's when football games start to get real fun and real physical.
That's when it really starts to go.
Yeah, that's when 25 yards of pop gets to happening.
That's real talk. Listen, Elvin's like, Pedro need to have a C on his jersey. Let's go. Yeah, man. I mean, listen, to just think about that, right? And obviously playing the position of center, you talk about, the quarterback being the captain of the offense. If you talk about a co-pilot, right, for offense, it's the center position. You know what I'm saying? Just tell people, just kind of explain a little bit about, the intricacies of playing, this position, and of making sure that, all your guys are where they need to be. You know what I'm saying? Making sure that you're making the right checks, seeing what the defense is doing right in front of you, because, you and the quarterback need to be on the exact same page, or it's trouble for you guys.
So the biggest part about being the center is knowing your quarterback. That's where it all starts, because you can know what the defense is going to come out in, what they prefer to do, everything. But if you and your quarterback aren't on the same page, it doesn't matter, right? So getting to know him is the key. But then having good O-linemen around you is also very important, right? Like Caden was in here a minute ago and he was talking, and Caden's a real one because Caden protects me a lot. Because a lot of times when I'm having to like figure stuff out and essentially playing center, for the first few seconds, you only have one arm because the other arm is snapping the ball.
Yeah.
So having good guards that can protect you for a little bit while you get ready is key. So having good guys around you and having chemistry with the quarterback are the fundamentals. And then you can start to worrying about, the defense is in this look, be ready for this, this, and this. The defense is like this, get ready for this, this, and this. So chemistry is key.
Yeah.
And then knowledge is secondhand, because as a center, all the calls have to be made in a split second, and you just have to go with it. So hesitation is there isn't space for hesitating. There isn't space for doubt. It's just you got to rock with it.
No, that's big, man. And you mentioned, talking about having guys around you as well, right? That obviously, have your back. Not just you and the quarterback obviously being on the same page, but also having guys around you, that's on the same page in the world. And I think that's something that's super beneficial when you talk about, what we had the last few years, right? We had that continuity, right, on the offensive line. And obviously, I know that this year, right, we're going to see a lot of guys get a lot more snaps, right? You know what I mean? But that doesn't mean that we don't got the guys there who can put in the work, so that way, we can get the ball to, some of these dynamic players we got in the backfield and out wide, right? Talk a little bit about some of the guys in the room that you get a chance to play around, right? I mean, obviously, Coop had a chance to play a lot of snaps last year because of injury. I know Stephen Thomas as well got a chance to get a lot of snaps in. Jadrian, right? You know what I'm saying? So just talk a little bit about, some of these guys and the work that you've also seen, some of the other guys in your room being able to put in from last year and also through the spring, that's preparing you guys in this unit for this upcoming fall season.
So Steve, right? Stephen Thomas, Steve, he is the leader. He's our guy, right? He's the oldest. He has the most experience. All the Ducks get in line. He's the one at the front, right? So it helps a lot because I know that there's someone on that line who has a lot of experience, and who's mature, right? Because liking it or not, I'm still young. I still have a lot to learn. I still have a lot to do. Having Steve there really helps because that kind of like anchors our old line on a person, right? And then on the other side of the line, you have Coop, and it ain't different. Coop is also older. Coop knows a lot, right? And Coop is one of those guys where I trust. Like, I trust Coop a lot. So we have two tackles, right, who really know what they're doing and who we can really put faith in them.
Mm-hmm.
And then, you know, our guards, right? Caden, Collard, what's his name? Caleb. Our guard, we got good guards,
Yeah.
right? And our guards put in a lot of work. The interior of the line is probably where we're the youngest, right? Tackles, we probably got a little more age on us.
Mm-hmm.
But there's nothing there because all the guards, all the centers have great chemistry together.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, it doesn't matter who's in, doesn't matter who's playing. We can all work together. We all know each other. We all trust each other. And, you know, the tackles being older, they're wiser. They kind of they kind of hold the unit together, and that's how we roll.
And that's what's up, man. And it's good to have that good mix, right? Up young and old, because that way you have guys who can pass down a lot, you know, to the newer guys who are coming up. You know, just like you said, hey man, getting a chance to play those snaps. Now I can turn back and talk to the younger guys and kind of give them some of my experience that I've been there, right? So it's always good to see a room where you have, you know, people at multiple levels. It's never good when you got all guys as young guys, all guys as old guys. It's like, you know, you really want to have a good mix, and I think Coach Green has done an excellent job of making sure that room is always like that. And I know we're coming to a close, man. I just have a couple of questions left for you, man. One, you know, for you. What would you say, you know, is the goal, right? If you had to say, man, this is the one goal of the unit, the O-line unit this year coming into the fall, you know, what is that goal that you say you guys have in front of you? I mean, I know, you know, 25 yards of carry would be nice, right? You know what I'm saying? But, you know, everybody's not Katie Tompkins, right? You know what I'm saying? Going against Jordan. So what would be that one goal that you say is in front of you guys for this fall?
I feel like our one goal is improving. Coach Green doesn't accept complacency. Right? I forgot what quote it is. It's like the bench is the greatest motivator, you know? Ass meets bench tells brain to get off ass gets to work, ass gets off bench. It's a great quote. But yeah. But I forgot the question, my bad.
Nah, just talking about the goal you guys got.
Oh, the goal, yeah, the goal. Yeah. That's right, Pedro. Yeah. It's improving, right? Yeah. Not allowing ourselves to be complacent, sticking with it. We're young. We might be young, but we got something to prove.
That's what's up, man. And I know you guys can definitely get it done. I know you guys are definitely going to improve. I'm excited to see. Listen, the offensive unit is I'm excited to see it. You know what I'm saying? Come this fall. You know, listen, about to go for that dime piece. You know, against Texas Southern. But listen, lastly, man, I don't know if you watch the show.
Big check, Tom.
But you already know what it is. Listen, here at PV, you know, we write big checks. So what's your big check that you writing for the fall 2024 season? Listen, and Mr. Ricardo, you can write your own check in the comments too, right? What's your big check? You know what I'm saying? I need a big check from Pedro and a big check from Mr. Ricardo.
My big check for the year, I got one goal, and it's gonna be my goal every year I'm at Prairie View. I will be an all-SWAC player, and then I'll be an All-American.
I love it.
That's my big check. I'm not gonna stop working until I'm all SWAC. And when I do get all SWAC, because I know I will, I trust myself, I have faith in myself, and I have faith in Coach Green's gonna teach me the right way. I will work my butt off to be an All-American.
Listen, I believe you. You know what I'm saying? I know you're gonna get it done. And listen, by the way, if for y'all don't know, right? Next Sunday, not this Sunday coming up, but next Sunday, we're gonna be talking about preseason all SWAC. Who are the individuals at PV that the SWAC need to be putting down for preseason all SWAC? Because we know sometimes they be overlooking folks. So we're gonna help them out and lay it on the platform. You know what I'm saying? So Pedro say, listen, it's the goal, all SWAC. And Mr. Ricardo in the comments, he said, listen, goes to win it all. I like that, Mr. Ricardo. We're gonna have Mr. Ricardo on the show. You know what I'm saying? So he can, you know what I'm saying? Because he gonna be writing some big checks with me. Mr. Ricardo, you know, we can write a lot of big checks. You know what I'm saying? We got the money to cash it. All right. You know what I mean? Hey, a brotherhood that can't be broken in the O-line room. I love that. Caden. That's dope, man. That's dope. You know what I'm saying? So, man, I really appreciate you for coming on, Pedro. Just representing, you know what I'm saying, for the O-line room in general. Obviously, we're all excited at PV Nation to see you guys this fall. We've been talking on this channel at nauseam about, listen, we getting out. We're gonna be supporting you guys all year because we believe what you guys have the ability to do, and so we're gonna be supporting you guys, through the ups, the downs, the ins, the outs of this season. And so we can't wait, man, to create that atmosphere for you guys. So it's gonna be like 10,000 of your sisters and your moms and your dads in the stands this fall. Basically, that's what I'm trying to say. Does that make sense? Does that paint the picture for you?
Oh yeah.
Okay, good. All right, good. I'm just trying to paint the picture for you. You know what I'm saying? And Miss Monica say, don't forget, we got the Brazilian barbecue going down.
Oh yeah.
We got the Brazilian barbecue going down. Okay, listen, we gotta talk about that Brazilian barbecue going down. And Miss Laura say, PV Nation, let's get it. She said, oh, it's gonna be loud. Oh, it's gonna be loud. Listen.
You can try. I'm gonna tell you right now. You're gonna be sitting in the stands. You're gonna hear a little voice screaming, and you're gonna be like, "Oh, there's Laura. Yep, she's here today."
Oh, that's Laura. Hey, Laura. Listen. We're gonna have to take a picture with the big check at the game. All right, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to get 80 golf. Listen, don't let nobody stop me at the gate. All right, and be like, you can't bring that in. I'm bringing the big check to the game. All right, we're gonna be bringing the big check to the game, man. So with that being said, man, we appreciate you for jumping on. Ooh, Ricardo say the storm. See, me and your dad like right here. We here, okay? Mr. Ricardo, you invited at any time, all right? You invited, all right? Brazilian barbecue, Mexican barbecue, African American barbecue, don't matter. Listen, you invited. The cookout everywhere, all right? So listen. Oh man, listen, we appreciate you for coming on, man. Appreciate all you guys for jumping on with us. Again, if you have not already done so, please go ahead and like and subscribe to the channel. The goal is 500 subs by the fall season. We're almost there with 32 subs off, so go ahead and subscribe to the channel so we can get where we need to go, man. And also, we got coming up on Wednesday, HBCU preseason top 10 and title pie. We're doing that as well. And so I don't know if you guys seen our shirts. I don't know, Pedro, if you've seen the shirts we got made already.
I have.
Okay, I'm just saying, listen, because I like pre-warning people. I don't like people just be like, oh, you just jumping up. No. Now we've been talking about this. So I don't want to hear that. All right. So we got shirts made. All right. Swag Champs, PV Nation 2024. So we getting it, man. So until next time, man, we really, really appreciate you guys for jumping on, but we'll holla. See y'all later.